If you've stumbled upon this video while thinking about buying the Fujifilm X-E4 or X-T40 camera, stop! Wait, don't do it yet, we need to talk about it! Recently, the news spread out that Fujifilm X-E4 models are discontinued. The X-T40 Mark II also gets discontinued in few places. So let's talk about it and discuss what does that mean. Should you buy those cameras right now or wait a bit? If you find this video useful, please drop it a like. Also, feel free to share your opinion in the comments below. And now, let's get into the video. So, let's start with a brief history. The first Fujifilm X-E1 was released in September 2012. Very soon after that, the next year, Fuji updated it and released the X-E2 model. Then, after 3 years, in 2016, there was X-E2S model. The year after that, in 2017, X-E3 came out. And after 3.5 years, in February 2021, the latest X-E4 model was introduced. Between the last two models, there was the biggest gap in release dates, and I think it's due to the pandemic at that time. The Fujifilm X-E4 camera is 2 years old now, and based on the history of this camera, it's easy to assume that the new upgrade is due in 2023 or 2024. The X-T5 with a new 40 megapixel APS-C sensor was released, so there should be coming up upgrades of the rest of the Fujifilm camera lineup. I like Fujifilm's strategy, it is similar to BMW. German car manufacturer released its flagship 7th series model with brand new technologies and design, and then later putting in place those changes to other models. That's why I think not only X-E4 will get an update, but also X-T40 Mark II as well. The difference would be only in release timeframe, as X-T40 Mark II was released half a year later than the X-E4, so we could expect the similar release frame between X-E5 and X-T40. Now, if we are going to get new cameras this year, what should we expect from it, and what I would like to see in new cameras based on my experience with my Fujifilm X-T40 Mark II. I think the most obvious upgrade is a new sensor and processor that is in X-T5. While the new processor is a nice upgrade, I have some concerns on sensor upgrade. As I mentioned, the new sensor in Fujifilm X-T5 camera is 40 megapixels, and in some cases it is an advantage, and in other cases could be a disadvantage. For example, with a 40 megapixel image you can crop more, and such a thing would be very handy in Fujifilm X100 camera lineup, as there you have an undetachable lens, so the crop would act as zoom. And without cropping with 40 megapixels, you're gonna get more detailed images. But when you shrink 40 megapixels into APS-C format, it's not only sunshine and unicorns. Comparing to the previous sensor, the pixels got almost twice smaller, which means it gathers less light, which leads to more noisy images in low light situations. I heard there were some instances when people with X-T5 got noisy images even during daytime shooting, which I don't think is good. Of course, there is an option to shoot in lower resolution, but then why overspend for a 40 megapixel sensor when you won't be using it? In my opinion, a 26 megapixel APS-C sensor in my X-T40 Mark II is more than enough. There is no need for more. If new models get a processor upgrade, it means the camera would be a bit faster and work better, which is welcome. Design-wise, I don't think there is much to upgrade. For example, comparing my X-T40 Mark II and X-T20, on the front side you won't find any changes. There were a few minor refinements on the back side, so I hope there will be some refinements on the X-T40 model as well. For example, Fujifilm could upgrade the screen, making it thinner and maybe fully articulated. And the electronic viewfinder, although I don't use it, but I can agree it could be improved. The only thing is that I hope they won't go X-E4 route and make X-T40 with a flat design and no grips. On the other hand, coming from X-E3 to X-E4, Fujifilm completely changed camera design, making it more flat and minimalistic. They also removed a few control buttons. So in X-E5 I think it's fair to hope they would bring some controls point back. Although Fujifilm could yet again decide to remove another dial or button, because why not, right? The grip I don't see is possible to ruin more, so if Fujifilm decides to stick to a minimalistic design, we won't see any changes grip-wise. Then again, they could upgrade the screen and electronic viewfinder as well. So, if you are considering purchasing a new Fujifilm camera, should you wait or buy now all the models while you can? Also, am I considering upgrading my X-T40 or not? Well, in this camera segment, I think it's pointless to try and chase the best of the best. Both X-E4 and X-T40 aren't professional cameras. Of course, you can use them as backup cameras, but they mostly are meant for hobbies, not work. And shooting in your spare time, do you need the best camera there is? I think no. X-E4 and X-T40 are great cameras and will remain great for years to come, and will be able to help you make great shots. Great shots are made by photographers, not by the newest digits on the camera. The other day one person texted me on Instagram asking questions about Canon 6D Mark II, like is this camera good and how much he could sell it for. When I asked why he wants to sell it, he replied that he wants to upgrade to a mirrorless camera system. But to question why, he couldn't give a confident answer, just assumptions like there is better stabilization, autofocus or something like that. So at the end of our conversation I just told him that he should stick with 6D Mark II, as he obviously doesn't use it to its full potential. Of course, a Canon mirrorless camera would be a good upgrade, as it is lighter and overall newest technology. But is it worth spending money when you still have where to grow with your current camera? I don't think so. For me, upgrading my X-T40 Mark II is also out of consideration, as I bought it for my spare time, and a few new features are not worth the upgrade. Unless Fujifilm would implement some kind of AI technology into the camera, but I can see it coming in the near future. In conclusion, don't rush with the desire to upgrade your Fujifilm X-E4 or X-T40. If you have older cameras, then maybe you could consider upgrading. But again, I think X-E3 is still a good camera even in 2023. If you are in the market for a new Fujifilm camera, then you have a few options. You could wait for either the X-E5 or X-T40, but there is no official information about the release dates. And the X-E4 model might have been discontinued due to component shortages, not the upgrade. Waiting might mean risking a longer wait than expected. Yet waiting allows you to see what the new models will bring to the table. And prices on older models might drop, giving you the option to choose between a new or cheaper older camera model. If you are not in a rush to start shooting, waiting could be a good option. But if you want to start shooting right away, go ahead and buy yourself a Fujifilm. You deserve it. If you can find a new or used X-E4 in good condition, don't be afraid to take a look at the Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II, as they are very similar, and the X-T30 Mark II might even be a bit better. Watch this video for more information about that. If you found this video helpful, please leave it a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you are new here, don't forget to hit subscribe, but for now, have a nice day and keep shooting.